Hi there, and welcome to another episode at Station Road. Now, you're probably thinking, wow, he's back pretty quick after the last episode. So this is just a really short, quick video, which is an extension on the recent video put up with the industrial backdrop progress. So it's just a small scenic treatment to one of the factory buildings that I really wanted to crack on with because it was kind of bugging me a little bit. So without further ado, let's just get into what I've been up to. So with the backdrop industrial area now mostly assembled and in position, one of the things I've actually noticed, and I did think about this and consider it as I was planning this whole area out, is this wall at the end of the factory kit in here. So this particular wall here is crying out for a ghost sign. So that will be one added scenic feature that will be put in here. Now, I have actually previously done some ghost signs, and that was actually on the local pub opposite the railway station, and that was actually done with some scanned brickwork and then finding some artwork and doing some Photoshop trickery to get that ghosted effect, printing that out and then gluing that onto the building. So I'll do the same process here and actually just sort of briefly go through how I actually go about doing this. So over time I've collected up various bits of Metcalfe scrap material and so forth, and also leftover pieces of kit. And what I've actually done with quite a number of these items is actually scanned them into the computer. So I've actually got a digital supply if I need to print anything out. Now, one of the issues, of course, you do come across is trying to match that colour to the Metcalfe kit so that it doesn't look so out of place. Now, I have two colour laser printers, which of course I use for my profession, and it is a little bit of trial and error trying to get the colours to match whatever the material might be, whether it's brickwork or stonework and that kind of thing. So I find that one printer actually does a better job than the other printer. So once I've measured up the wall section itself, then it's a case of calculating that out in the computer with a section of scanned plain brickwork. Now in this particular scenario, I actually found a interesting ghost sign that I think is located in London, and it's for Bry safety matches, and of course it's a long forgotten matches production company which I think, according to some research, was bought out in the early 1940s. But it's interesting that this particular ghost sign in London still exists. So what I've actually done in this particular scenario is reproduce that sign as closely as possible in Adobe Illustrator, and then it's a case of carrying that through into Photoshop where the brick wall section is ready to go, and applying various filters and techniques to the sign layer in order to get this ghosted, faded out, weathered look to it. So one thing that I did do after it was printed is I went over it with a clear matte varnish that just essentially seals it in, so when I cut it out, theoretically it's not going to scratch any of the print off the paper. So one of the things I'm actually going to do, even though it might not be critical because it's sort of sitting in this sort of recess here, so I am actually just going to go down the edges of this paper to eliminate that white edge. And I'm just using a brown colour pencil to do that. And it just gets rid of that white paper edge. So there is the ghost sign now applied to the brick wall. So there we have it. It's certainly made a difference, I think, to the end of that factory wall, and it certainly add to all the other scenic assets that are going to be added to this area. So I think in terms of the technical side of it, where I've obviously used Illustrator and Photoshop, I know that there's plenty of other software options out there, including even online editors for manipulating photographic and illustrative artwork and things like that. So I think it's pretty accessible for anyone who wants to give this type of technique a go. And although I've used a laser printer in this particular scenario, I'm sure an inkjet printer would work just as well, possibly even better maybe. And of course the only other item would be a scanner. So I'll leave it there. Thank you everyone for watching, and thank you all to the new subscribers and also the recent comments, which unfortunately I haven't had a chance to respond to just yet, but I will get to them. So take care everyone, do look after yourselves, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.